Take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim. It's nice to see everybody. Um, I uh, I haven't done a presentation in quite a while, so bear with me. I'm not touching the computer because I would just end up cutting everybody off. So Sam's going to help me. Um, so a little bit about us. As Sarai mentioned, we are a childhood cancer family. Been in the advocacy part of childhood cancer for quite a few years. I started with OPAC, I think it was 2017, Sarai, I think that's right, as doing a support group for OPAC. And then I think it was around that time I had a really bad night, and it led to this path of going back to school. I am a grief and bereavement specialist with this thing called grief, and my husband Sam is a MSW, and we decided way back in 2017
Yep.
to go back to school so that we could offer families uh, counseling that we didn't have access to back then. There was counseling for families when they were bereaved, but there wasn't anything available for any other part of the journey. So we opened our practice in April, so we're fresh at this. Although we've been in business since from over a year, but we opened our practice in April. Um, and looking back, we run our practice very much on lived experience, more so than what we've learned in school. We find that school really just complements what we do rather than the other way around.
Yep.
Um, and one of the biggest things looking back was self-care, and that what I thought self-care was, um, and how I didn't practice it. So not at all. And one of the I think is funny now looking back is our daughter was in the hospital for 8 months, and I wouldn't leave her side. And we had a 5-year-old at home, but he would bring her to the hospital every day. So I didn't feel I was, I felt, yes, she was missing out, me not being home with her, but I was seeing her every day, and I didn't want to leave our youngest daughter's side. She was not quite 2 at the time, 16 months. And the doctors and nurses had a meeting with him saying she has to get out of the hospital. So they wanted me to go around McDonald's house, and I didn't want to leave. So finally I said, "Look, okay, fine, I'll go. I'm going for a half an hour max. That's it." And so I really reluctantly went over, and yeah, an hour later the phone rang, and it was the hospital. And I answered the phone thinking something's terribly wrong. See, I went away for an hour and everything fell apart, and they were calling me concerned, like, "Are you okay?" And I thought, I've been gone an hour. I'd been gone 13. I fell asleep. I was exhausted. I was just, my body just shut down. And that was kind of like an aha moment for me. So yeah, so that's me realize that self-care was important, more important than I admitting to at the time. So when they asked us to do the presentation, I thought definitely self-care.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
So important and always overlooked.
Yeah, for sure. So self-care and burnout. So I thought, so I have my little cheat sheet here, but I wondered if do you have the chat option there? I want to ask, like, what is one word right now that captures how you're feeling right now? Please don't say bored. Give it 15, 20 minutes.
Or leaving.
Dear, yes. There's something in chat there.
Yeah, that's me. I sent one
Oh.
to you. Hello, everyone. Anxious and worried.
Fair, very fair. It's I think when you're in this world of childhood cancer, it feels like it's a constant state, right? Worried. Um, that word anxiety, kind of feels like it's always there. Yeah.
Anxiety is directly connected to the future
Yeah.
and how we want to know that how the future is going to unravel. And when it's not predictable, then the anxiety really
Yeah.
exacerbates itself. It grows so much because the predictable future has changed.
that constant what if, right?
Yeah, the what if.
So burnout. What is burnout? And I think the best way I describe burnout is if, your battery on your phone, it's at 5%, and you keep giving everybody else your charger to charge their phone, and yours just keeps going down and down, and it's flashing red, and you're still giving everybody else your charger. Um, so it's physical exhaustion, emotional exhaustion, and it's prolonged, and you just get to a point where you become physically ill easier, and your body just starts shutting down on you because you more easily get sick, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
So the signs of burnout: constantly fatigued, irritable. I still think about this gentleman at where was it, that restaurant we used to go to all the time after the Mandarin.
My daughter loved it.
She loved Mandarin. So after chemo, we'd go to the Mandarin. And she was on had a GJ tube, and a lot of times it would end, well, you all know, would end up with vomiting. And so we had a placard for the parking and accessible parking. And I came out, and there was something on the windshield um, telling me that it was awful that I thought I could park there just because I had kids, and the person made the mistake of writing it on the back of a menu or a place setting. So, when I went back in to ask this gentleman why he would write that, the waitress made the mistake of pointing him out. And I was so tired and exhausted, and like the what ifs never stop. And she pointed him out, and the whole Mandarin will never forget my visit that day. And that man will never leave a note on another person's car. I guarantee it.
Glad I stayed in the car with the kids.
Yes. No, the kids were like, I'm sure the kids wanted to go with me. Oh dear. But yeah, so the signs of withdrawing from friends. Um, this one here, I say withdrawing from friends. There's a lot of friends that withdraw from you if you haven't noticed. Um, they say you find out who your friends are when your child is sick, you go through difficult times, and you often think that you must have some sort of character flaw, because where do people go during difficult times? And it's not you. It's people just can't deal with the things that we all deal with. You're always tired. And what do you say when people say, "How are you feeling?" And what's our answer? It's always, "I'm fine. I'm a little tired." But imagine if we actually answered honestly. I mean, people would be standing there with their mouths hanging open, not knowing what to say. But we do that. We say, "I'm fine," and we're not.
And this is so true.
Yeah, and sometimes I think we're trying to convince ourselves that we're fine, and we're not. We're not fine. Um,
It's that whole environmental and societal practice of you must be
strong.
strong at all costs.
Mhm.
But pull it up by the bootstraps and carry forward and don't show any weakness, and that's just not
And
reality.
we have this, as parents, we have to keep it together. We have to be strong, and we have to pretend that everything's okay for our family. And yeah, that's part of it as well. I'm kind of curious if what do you think people notice about you first when you're going through burnout, whether it be your spouse, another family member? So when you think you're hitting your point, when you're like, okay, I'm done. I need to do something. I need to get away or something, because I'm just gonna break down. What do people notice about you? Do you think it is?
Manageable.
Yeah,
Burnout?
like
Is that what you're asking?
when I'm my my wit's end. So I'm just kind of wondering what other people think people notice in them.
Manageable point of burnout
Yeah, like
for yourself.
like does your spouse say, "Wow, I noticed that she's getting really tired," like that sort of thing? Yeah.
Slurry. your words all slur together.
Yeah, it is.
You're constantly fighting. Like, oh, I gotta do this, and then you
Yeah.
kind of shake yourself up, and then you get mad to try and get the
Easily.
adrenaline rush.
Yes, I used to
But
get mad.
there's not enough madness to get the
Yeah.
adrenaline rush going for you.
I've learned that when I get to that point, don't send emails.
Yes.
Don't post anything on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I try really hard to, be articulate, and it totally looks like I just drank a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then demanded that you go to bed. I'm usually pretty upbeat and bubbly, but I get more snappy and short-tempered when I'm burned out.
Yeah.
Then feel guilty about being snappy to my
true.
loved
Oh
ones
my
and
gosh,
friends. Yeah, how
guilt.
true is that?
I think that's a really good point, because I think guilt is like one of the things that I feel is a constant. When your
Yeah.
child is sick, it's a constant. We feel guilt. Guilt is just there. It's now a part of you.
Right.
I mean,
That again stems from societal factors, right?
Yeah.
I made this child that is ill when society says all your children must be perfectly
Yeah.
healthy, no problems, moving forwards, contributing to society.
And it's not like a spoken thing where they're saying, it's just kind of and he says that because people run away from it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be around it, because then I have to admit that bad things happen to good people, bad things happen to kids, and it's not what we see. We don't see that in the TV shows and the normal life, right? So yeah. So again, well, actually, this is the next good point. You said guilt, and the next thing on my list is, why do we resist self-care out of guilt? And the other thing is, we really think that self-care costs a lot of money. So, and I was guilty of that too. I thought, okay, I have to go to a spa, or I have
Which
to
is
go.
nice if you can.
If you can, yeah. Or I have to go away for a couple of days. I had my hair done, like, we certainly didn't have the funds to do that sort of thing. So I'm utilizing the chat a lot, sorry. But I'm kind of wondering, what do you think self-care, what does self-care look like for you? What do you do? What do you think self-care is for you? Like, what do you do for self-care?
Self-care. My self-care is to lock myself in my basement away from the world for a few hours, watch a movie, just distract myself.
And laugh.
Yeah,
laugh.
I pick comedy movies
Yeah.
on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and
The
laugh as
laughter.
hard as I can. Yeah.
And I have to admit, sometimes it annoys me so much,
Yeah.
because I want to laugh, and
I
I'm
get
like,
great pleasure out of
yeah,
that.
and
And
I'm
that alleviates my guilt.
I don't want to laugh, darn it. Don't make me laugh. I want to be miserable. And it's true. Sometimes I just want to sit and be in that emotion
course.
of, right now, I don't want to laugh. I want
Amanda says she takes a long bubble bath and plays spa music to try and relax.
Oh,
Watch a
yeah.
movie with extra buttery popcorn. Right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right now.
Bubble
Yeah.
baths. Yeah, Kim is famous for bubble baths, like 4, 5, 6, 7 hours.
She's not joking. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. So I this is gonna take a couple minutes, but it's something that I have people do, and it surprises people. I can't see anybody, so you may not do it, but if you can get a piece of paper and a pen, um, did you do that? I'm attached at the beginning. If you grab
Have to have a piece of paper and a pen?
yeah, it's a free write.
Just explain the whole thing.
So I'm gonna have everybody do, it's called a free write, and it's when you just start writing down. You don't have to worry about punctuation. You don't have to worry about your words making sense. You're writing down every word that enters your brain. Right now, I just thought of French fries, book, tablet, like any word that comes to your mind. There's no punctuation. It doesn't have to make sense. It's just writing everything out. It's like,
So you're writing just words out that are
words.
jumping in your head,
Yeah.
or you're writing sentences?
no
of thoughts?
sentences,
No
just
sentences,
words.
Just words.
Yeah.
Okay. Popcorn, dolphin, Christmas tree,
Yeah.
hairdos.
But there's the act of writing it out too. So if you can write it out, it's
like that.
yeah.
I see.
Mhm.
And what's the purpose?
So writing those, it's kind of like it's a word dump. It's kind of getting,
Word, yeah.
yes, it's getting rid of these. It's not the words. It's just it's kind of thinking like, think of it like this. If you have all these passwords in your head, these old passwords that you no longer use, I think of it like that, getting rid of all these things that you don't need in your brain. It's making up space, it's clearing spaces, like getting the email, all those extra emails that you don't need, clearing your emails out, all the pictures that are on your phone that you don't need. It's just kind of a way of releasing um, emotions. It's Can you explain it better? You know about free writing.
I put it right here in the chat.
Oh,
Individual words.
yeah.
All right, yeah, so the whole idea of the word dump is to let everything just flow freely from your mind, no critiquing.
Yeah.
You just want it all out of your head because we have this level of critique, our critical line of thinking. And to a lot of the times we can't get past that. That critical line of thinking is the dividing line between your thoughts and your emotions. And when we have a really thick, broad, critical line, it's almost impossible to let those emotions come up. So this dump is just to get everything out onto the paper and then see if you can notice a pattern or if it just makes you feel better. Because sometimes it's just blah.
Because then
Verbal diarrhea,
even when
get it
we
out.
say, okay, write something, no one's going to read it. There's still in the back of your mind this subconscious of someone's going to read it.
And be petty
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be nice with it. Be petty.
Yeah.
No, I wrote that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the 5 minute word dump, you set the timer and just let it all out. And then if you go over it later and see if it's
Makes any sense.
resonates with you somehow.
If anyone wants to come on off mute and has anyone done that before? A free write like that? And how did it make you feel? This is kind of like us during the pandemic.
Remember that? Yeah. You want to come on?
Yeah.
I have heard of it, but have yet to try it. Seems beneficial.
Yeah, it feels good. And quite honestly, like a lot of things, um, before I did it, I'm like, this makes no sense. But it did and it helped. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Helps get things out.
Yeah. Um, so
So that's an idea of self-care.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So the whole idea of self-care, going back to thinking that it's expensive, that you have to do something that costs money, there's something that doesn't cost money. Going for a walk outside, which even I think, oh, too hot, it's too cold. There's always a reason, but that's one thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Nature is a very grounding experience. And if you can get your socks and shoes off and walk with bare feet, it's even more grounding. Nature has this amazing effect of calming us and bringing us back to almost like an authentic self. It because it doesn't ask anything of you, and it shines beauty. That's what the great thing about nature. And the earth can hold all the weight that you have on your shoulders. It can literally take it.
there's
Oh, Caesar said it's like unplugging a clog. Let things flow once you allow it. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah.
just like journaling. Sometimes you can start journaling and you have in your head, you're gonna start journaling and you're gonna write this certain way. This is your idea. I'm gonna write about my day. And then suddenly, even if it's over weeks, you start to see a transition. Um, I'm a widow. And when I started writing, I was writing in a certain way and it turned to letters. I started writing letters. And then the letters went from writing to him to writing to really, I don't even know who, asking questions as to why and getting out these questions that are never going to have answers to, but um, releasing my anger And then, and sometimes what I do with my clients is I give them a journal and we put a big sticker on it with this. Actually, no one has the right to read this. Don't read this. If you read this, how do I put it?
Silly.
Yeah, but I have respect that you won't read this, something along those lines. So, and so no one's supposed to read it, and they can, really put out their feelings and, with feeling secure that no one's going to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Invade your
Invade their
privacy.
privacy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, another thing that I've had,
So my question is it the same to type something compared to writing it? Like, is
it
it the
depends
same
on where
effect?
you are, right? Because sometimes you don't have, I mean, I sometimes write on my phone, like the notes on my phone.
So do you get the same feeling of
I think it
unloading when you type?
depends on the person, right? And what you're saying. So it really depends. I
Right.
can't write any, I have a brain injury. I don't write anymore. I'm limited now. I type.
Yeah.
So, and it is, I think for me, I never used to read what I wrote back to myself. It was done. I got it out and now I read it back.
Mm.
And there's a bit of, for me, it's therapeutic to read it back.
Mm.
I feel like, oh, I got that out. And sometimes I'm really surprised at what I wrote. So,
So maybe ask the question, what do you like better, writing by hand or
yeah.
typing your notes?
If
So
people,
that was the
yeah, if
question.
people journal, yeah. Do you
Do you
find,
journal by typing or do
does
you
anyone
journal
journal?
by hand?
Does anyone journal? Yeah. So, and do they journal? Does anyone journal? And how do you find it beneficial to type it or write it?
I like writing it.
Yeah, you should,
Yeah, but then it gets messy after a while.
'cause you're tired.
Yeah,
Mine goes like this.
at least when you're typing, it's always neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't, for me, it's not as
First
therapeutic.
page.
The first page, yeah. It's not as therapeutic when I'm not writing it by pen for some
Yeah.
reason. Yeah. Seems more personal, maybe.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
Amanda says, I type a lot for work, but there's something about handwriting things that seems to be more therapeutic for personal
Yeah.
reasons.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. So it depends what your jam is.
Yeah. Just, and honestly, just been since we've opened up our practice.
Susan writes no autocorrect when I write.
Yeah. When I write and don't use autocorrect, I don't have to worry about anyone reading it. No one would understand what I say. But actually, it's only been since, having this practice and having other social workers move in with us that really practice mindfulness as their kind of their focus about sitting there and taking a deep breath or a few deep breaths.
Yeah.
We have one that, practices sound, like does sound baths and breathing through that. And afterwards feeling like, wow, I didn't realize I was holding so much tension in my core. Um, it's one of those things I don't think I would have put much stock in until I experienced it. Taking a
Going
deep
to a
breath.
sound therapy session. Oh my gosh, she had these great big huge gongs, three of them. And I was kind of skeptical. And I'm like, what's going on? Like here, really?
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, everybody sit down and close your eyes. Well, I wanted to see what was happening. So I kept my eyes open for the first 5 minutes. And I'm like, it was so ruckusy and noisy. And I'm like, this is terrible. And I thought, well, I'm not leaving. So I thought, I'll close my eyes. As soon as I closed my eyes, it was like all these waves of sound started hitting me. My eyes were creating confusion to what was actually happening. And I remember sitting and thinking, oh, wow, this is really something. And I had all these like light flashes and stuff going. And all of a sudden she goes with this little chime. She goes, beautiful little sound. And I thought, what was that? And I opened my eyes and I thought she forgot to tell everybody something. She was going to interrupt to say, oh, I forgot to mention this. And she looks up, she goes, okay, that's it.
I know.
And I'm
Yes.
like, what are you talking about? She goes, yeah, that was 45 minutes. I'm like, no, that was literally
Yeah.
a minute and a half.
Yes, I thought we were. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. The same
And I
thing.
can still feel the vibrations, even thinking about it now in my hands from that vibrational.
I thought
therapy.
we're done already. I felt like I thought, oh my gosh, did I snore? Because I thought I probably, yeah, for sure.
Highly recommended.
Taking an unrushed shower or a bath, like you mentioned, somebody mentioned about having a bath, like without being interrupted, and not feeling guilty that you're in there. Like I'll say, don't interrupt me, don't knock on the door, I'm having a bath.
Yep.
And that's okay. It's okay to do that. And then the other thing is about that self-care, with partner, finding that time to spend time together,
Right.
the self-care of your relationship. I remember when this all started and someone sat us down and said, gave us statistics about getting through, her illness, the percentage of this is either gonna make you stronger or it's gonna break you up.
Mhm.
And that was, for me, a slap in the face. I didn't want to hear that, but it did make us more aware that we had to stay together. We had to work together. And taking those moments to
Because
go
we're
for
seeing
fun.
it sees its way
Yeah,
into the
it
little
does. So
cracks.
if you don't talk about these little things,
Yeah.
they turn into bigger things. Taking that time to sit outside and have a coffee for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, just checking in with each other,
Yeah.
like well, like
Leads to cynicism, and cynicism just unpacks the whole relationship. Yeah.
and sitting through the funny movies, even when I don't want to laugh. Yeah,
Kim and I, we made a pact. We said no matter what happens, we got each other's back. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Doesn't matter what anybody says, what happens, it doesn't matter. We're gonna, and no matter what we feel about each other in the moment, we're
yeah,
just gonna have each other's back and stick through it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's easy. That sounds so easy. It's not easy.
It was not
It's not
easy.
easy.
Oh my gosh,
It's
no.
very difficult,
Yeah.
and looking back it was very, very difficult. And part of, I think, why it went the way it did for us as far as being able to stay together in the sense of physically being together during her illness. We were in London, her treatment was in Toronto, and we managed to always be there together was because we very naively thought that if she couldn't have treatment here in London, then surely the government would look after sending her to Toronto and paying for our accommodations and all those things. And that was not the case, obviously, as probably you all know. We were so naive to that. So yes,
Like you're gonna saving grace.
it
So that-
was, yeah, naivety. I can't imagine, and I see it all the time. I see it all the time where mom is at the hospital all the time, dad's at home working, or vice versa. And I know how hard it is. And it's so easy for me to sit here and say, oh, take a shower by yourself, half an hour shower by yourself. But I'm totally cognizant of that's not always possible. So I hope that I want to make sure you all realize that I totally understand that. Um, and you have to do these things when you can. It's the things like taking a moment to take a deep breath. And when if you are at the hospital together, finding the moment, if you have the opportunity to have a volunteer there that you can go and grab a quick coffee together and taking that time to talk. And yeah, because
Physical and verbal,
yeah, like
holding hands.
holding hands,
Sure.
like even when
sound much.
where you feel like grumpy with one another and you don't know why, hold hands, that
Yeah.
connection, even holding hands. Um, so the other thing I wanted to talk about was the self-care of children. This is, I think, where I lacked or we lacked. We have this a story when our daughter was in the hospital for, I think, 2 months before she was diagnosed. And our other daughter was 5, and they set up a little play area outside of her room, and she wasn't there. We couldn't find her, and our older daughter, 5 year, she was 5, and we finally found her. She was in what we came to learn that day was a palliative room, and she's in the room by herself, her hand up between the rails, she's holding this little girl's hand. And she told us this little girl was going to heaven, and we didn't know. We didn't know what that room was for, even then, at that moment. And so the nurse took us aside later and told us that it was a palliative care room. And she knew exactly what that room was, and what was happening. And looking back, we didn't take time to sit with her and talk to her about it. We ignored it. We didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. And
Too close to home.
it was too close. Yeah. And I think we didn't want to stir on any questions
Yeah.
right? We didn't want to answer any hard questions. Um, but even the self-care, she was coming to the hospital every night with him, and we weren't having any check-ins with her. We were buying her stuff,
Right.
right? We were like, she was going to the gift shop. She was doing, we were doing all the things that we thought were right, but we were missing out on those things, asking her, what are you grateful for? What are you, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Like, what do you need? What she needed was she needed time. She needed time with me. She needed me to leave the hospital and leave dad at the hospital and do something with her. Seeing me every night wasn't enough for months, right? Like for 8 months, I did this. So that experience, those things, looking back is so easy. Yeah. Um, yeah. If you have like what do you
Oh, I remember that vividly. Yeah, it was a beautiful moment. She really taught us that children's hearts are very pure and they know what's going on. They have a sense about it. They maybe not be able to articulate it completely, but they have a real sense of what's going on. And they sense their parents. They understand their parents very, very well. They know when you're upset. They know when you're happy. They feel that. It's maybe not in the words, but they feel exactly what's going on. And they reflect back what you're transmitting out. So if your child is upset, then it's more than likely that they're expressing what you're already putting out there.
and
And
then you talk about it.
that's time to connect. That's
time
time to
to
say, hey, what's going on?
take 10 minutes to paint fingernails or what have you. And
Yeah.
I say that because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right. Looking back, I didn't do it. And
Yeah.
that's a regret that I definitely
Right.
have.
And
Right.
definitely come from the mindset, they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's have conversations. And kindness.
Yeah.
Like kindness is so underrated. Kindness to yourself, kindness to
Oh,
others, kindness to strangers, just kindness
we are so,
goes so far.
we're so unkind to ourselves.
Horribly
We think
unkind to us.
we think we're good to ourselves, because we think, oh, we're putting our children first. And there's that thing of, when the airplane, if the oxygen masks fall from the overhead compartments, put it on yourself before you put it on others. And the first time I heard that, I thought that's terrible, but it actually makes sense, right? And especially with our children, we want to make that's our first priority. But if you run out of oxygen, you can't, right?
Yeah.
And then we're also teaching them by our own self care. We're teaching them and to example, giving them by living by example,
Yeah.
teaching by example.
So
Yeah,
be kind. When you're kind to yourself,
that's
and
self
it
care.
radiates to other people too, and then they're kind.
And that's self-care. And then the big one we talked about for me is that we talked about people disappearing from our lives. And
Yeah.
that
And quickly.
and quickly, and that hurts so much. I posted, if anyone's interested, I'm sure I can probably tell you, I'm on our this thing called grief page today. I posted a video that started all this, and where I'm sitting in my living room crying, and I said, where'd everyone go? Where are all the people that said they would be there for us through everything, and they're gone? And I let it eat me alive. I was just like constantly, where is everybody? And so their absence and their decision to disappear caused me more harm than them actually not showing up. Instead of just saying, I don't need that. I don't need them. I don't want them to be in our lives simply out of some weird sense of obligation.
Yeah.
Right.
And our focus changed, and we noticed all these strangers
Mm-hmm.
that were just coming out of nowhere, that were so gracious and kind to us. And for no particular reason other than that, they wanted to be compassionate towards our situation. And they filled a lot of voids um, and they wanted nothing in return. It was merely, they just wanted to help.
Has anyone like we met so many childhood cancer families that became a big part of my support network for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, has anyone else had that?
What's the question?
That you found friendships in other childhood cancer families because they get it. They know what you're going through. And where other people in your life don't. I mean, you can have a friend who's been your friend for 40 years or 30 years, and they'll never understand what you're going through. But when you find another family or another mom or dad that's gone through it, they get it, that true empathy.
Is this right? Have you found friendships with other cancer survivor families?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what did that
Oh.
person say?
There's a sense of comfort seeing familiar faces in Toronto at sick kids. It's like an unspoken kind of bond. Yeah.
It's like a club you don't want to
Yeah.
qualify for. You don't want anyone else to qualify for, but at the same time, you're like, absolutely,
Grateful for that club.
100%.
Yeah.
So, when I was with OPAC for a couple of years, I started organizing retreats for moms, and I think we started with well, I sat there for quite a while for anyone even came to our support groups, and then it grew to I think 34, and then
Yep.
I think at last count there was like 150. But so we'd throw these retreats, and the moms would bond and I emotionally bond, like and the bereaved moms retreats, they'd be surrounded by all these women who totally understood each other for the first time, to be surrounded with so many people that understood what they were going through. And that's, I don't know
You
what
didn't have to go into lengthy explanations
about
of your
everything, because
situation,
they
but
got
They
it.
got it.
And I'm curious because other people, like if you go to if anyone goes to the parent support groups, if you don't, you should try it, because
Well, they should.
you should. Oh, we don't say should. Should is not a good word
We
around here.
encourage you.
It's bad.
In the heat of things, they didn't have it in me to connect, but I am ready to connect now and feeling the distance of some family and friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling the distance. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting that one, Eric.
Aaron, can I ask where you're located? Like what city? If you don't mind, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, or you can maybe connect with Sarai, and we can make sure you're connected.
Simcoe County.
Okay. Well, maybe Sarai can connect you with me, and we'll we can maybe connect you with other families, or myself, to chat, because it is so important, and it's once you connect with somebody else who understands, it feels like finally someone gets it.
Susan said we'll be happy to connect you anytime.
Yeah. So, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
Like I mean, we're here for self-care, but if anyone has any questions that
And
we
what
can
time is it?
answer, it's
So it's
22.
22, so we have exactly 20 minutes.
Yeah, but anything, it doesn't have to, we are here for self-care, but if anyone has any questions,
Yeah, we'd love to answer
unrelated,
some.
we'd love to. If you want to come off mute and ask, you're
Yeah,
welcome to.
yeah, you don't have to put your picture up or your face up. You can just unmute if you like. There was a big group that you had
Yeah.
that last retreat. There was like 120 people in that.
120, yeah.
It's a lot of people.
I think we did six retreats altogether.
Yeah, that's right. I think you have captured so much of what we all feel as parents. That's what Susan was saying. Thanks, Susan.
Well, OPAC is it's such an incredible organization.
Amanda says, I just want to say how much I appreciate this. To be honest, I almost felt a sense of guilt taking this time to join the Zoom meeting, which I realize probably sounds a little silly.
No, it doesn't sound silly at all. It
Nope.
sounds exactly the way that I've felt in the past, and I'm sure other people feel. And it's because you're a mom, and it's totally understandable. And yeah.
Yeah, Aaron says, I feel the same, Amanda. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? That it's, again, like Sam said, it's societal. It's something that when we were younger, we put ourselves last, but it's not the best thing for our families. It's just retraining our thoughts to understand that and believe that. And um, yeah, maybe maybe think of some virtual workshop or something that we can put together.
Well, I think really just noticing that this is happening is really the 50% of the
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't even notice it when you're within yourself, you can't even fix it. But now, once you become cognitive of it and you start seeing, oh, hey, I'm feeling stressed now, and you understand, and you investigate that a little bit more, and then you develop some good coping strategies, whether it's writing or bubble baths or whatever you think the coping strategy should be. Meditation, whatever it is, yeah. Then you start putting yourself first, not first as in I'm going to be first because I'm number one. First because I need to take care of myself in order to take care of everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? It's leading by example. And then you'll find that family members will also start to take better care of themselves. And then everybody's starting to care for themselves, caring for how they're thinking, caring for how they're feeling. And it brings up everybody's kindness towards each other. Yeah, in a really, really difficult situation.
And other people in your family will start to see it, like when you start taking care of yourself in that sense. And then, like Sam practices meditation every day,
Mhm.
and he goes to the gym. And when he doesn't go to the gym, I know he hasn't gone to the gym. So it's giving yourself permission.
Yeah, it's that oxygen mask. Put yours on first. The world needs you.
And the other thing I want to say too is reach out, like those connections. So actually, I'll talk about this now because it seems like a good entry into it. So, Sam, and as I mentioned, and I have a practice here, and so we are starting two things: counseling for families, OPAC families, who need counseling for loss. And loss isn't when somebody passes away or dies. It's a lot. It's included in that, but it's from the moment that you hear your child's name and cancer in the same sentence, there's a loss. Yeah. And there's continual losses along the way. And we only, like I said, we only had when there's a lot of help for bereaved families. There's a lot of counseling for bereaved families, and there's nothing, seems to be nothing for when along in that journey. We want to offer that. And we have the luxury of having a very generous sliding scale. So no one has to worry about money being an issue in that sense. So Sarai and Susan, I'm sure on their end, are working on getting that information to everybody. We do it obviously virtually, or if you're in their area, in London area, can make arrangements for in person. And the other thing is, we're starting is and working on developing is a evening and nighttime support line that you can call and you can speak to a parent that has been through it. Because I say monsters are scarier at night, and that there's no one to talk to at night. And that's was always so hard for me at nighttime. I just didn't have anyone to speak to. And so there'll be the option to text or call and hopefully perhaps even chat. We're working with the university. And so hopefully we can develop an app. I don't know how long that will take. I'm not techie, as I mentioned, but those are things that are in the works. The counseling aspect will happen very quickly. So if that's something that you need, please reach out to Susan or Sarai, and we'll get that arranged. So the other piece, the nighttime evening support, will take longer, and we'll be looking for supports and sponsors for that, but not the other. So if you need help, please reach out. You need someone to talk to. We're here for you. We know it's a long road. So yeah, if anyone else has any questions, please ask. That's we're here for you.
Nighttime hotline.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amanda says, we appreciate you truly. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
I think when you go through something like this, you think, I can't, that experience, I can't let it go. I have to, but it has to, I have to do something with it. We couldn't we had to do something with it. We felt like we just
They're compelled.
compelled, we have to. And then this opportunity was presented to us, and I didn't even ask his permission. Was not permission. I didn't even ask his input. We walked into this space, and I said, "Yep, we'll take it." And I could feel him behind me go take a very deep breath. Yeah, but we have an art therapist here, a social worker, MSW that practices like sound, a lot of different things, but we're, yep, we're lucky team here. So
All right, Susan says, thank you for this evening's presentation and thank you for partnering with OPAC.
we're very excited. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. Susan or Sarai.
Thank you very much. I don't know if are you done? I don't want to hurry you. If
Nope,
anybody has
that's
any
good.
questions or any comments for Kim and Sam, and like they mentioned, we're all here for each other. You know, we're here to help you connect. If you want to connect with another peer, like we do that all the time. You know, connecting people who have children with the same diagnoses or who live in the same area, so that you don't feel alone. Connecting with us through our OPAC's actual support groups, which we have virtual every Tuesday evening like this, where you can talk to our parent liaisons and other parents to get support, or connecting with Kim and Sam. Just let me know. And yeah, we'll put that information out there, Kim, as well, about the counseling services that you're offering. Thank you so much for that. And I'm very excited to work with you on all your future ideas and programs to help support families. And Kim is also starting up again an OPEC London support group. She's in London. So based there, if you know any families in London that can use support, let them know about OPAC, and we can get that information out as well for the families. And yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight, and Kim and Sam as well. Everybody's saying thank you. We appreciate your hard work, and it's wonderful. And oh, there's another comment here. Let me see. Says Amanda says, not sure if this is the right platform, but I would like to put my name out there. If anyone wants to add me to Instagram, Facebook, text me. I don't mean to overstep. No worries, Amanda. I wrote your name down. So if somebody's looking for support, maybe Aaron, you're both in Simcoe County. I'm in Barrie myself. So yeah, we can support or find connections for you. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, and yeah, you're welcome back to, do another talk on another topic. Very engaging. We love your personal, stories and just how you speak. It's very engaging and interactive. So we really appreciate that. So welcome
Anytime.
back anytime. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, everybody. Thank you again. Have a good night, and check out opac.org for our resources, including we'll have links to Kim and Sam's this thing called grief. So thank you again. Good
Have a
night.
great night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.